fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I am live once again for the Monday afternoon chat or evening chat. Depends on where you're at in the world, you know. This is a worldwide platform, I'm proud to say, from the USA to the UK to the Australia Gold Coast to Nigeria in the building to South Africa to Iceland, to Greenland, to Scotland, to Ireland. We are worldwide, people, you know? So, you know, to Guam, okay? Leisure Station in the building. So we're worldwide. And I know I'm early. I'm just trying to make up for the times that I wasn't. Counterpunch to everybody. Hit that like button when you guys come in. We got to talk about boxing, people. Ben Whittaker, Liam Cameron. That fight may be in doubt. You know, so we have a lot. Daniel Dubois wanting to fight everyone to this day. And speaking of to this day, we got Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder stating that he got a bit soft. So we talked a little bit about that yesterday. We got a new series, The Haters of Alexander Usyk. You know, all of a sudden now Usyk is picked on, you know, by guys like Derek Chisora, Frank Bruno. You guys didn't hear about Frank Bruno. Frank Bruno claims that Alexander Usyk wouldn't have made it in anybody's era. You know, in his era, should I say. Not anybody's, because he's undefeated now. And how many fights now? So you guys come in, hit that like button. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, people. You know, I'm just getting my steps in. You know, I'm on this carnivore diet this week, like I was last week, to be fair. And it's cool. I like it. I really like it, guys. But anyway, back to boxing. You guys come in, hit the like button. Let's talk about boxing. Leah Poteha, or is it Poteha? Lily Fifth. Hey, coach, counterpunch to you. I like that. Hey, coach. Yeah. I'm getting my steps in. Where we at right now? Let's see. 3,200. It's amazing how much you use your legs, man. But, no, man. Frank Bruno says that Usyk wouldn't have lasted in the era that he was in. And let's talk about that first and foremost. I think that Frank, he was a good opponent. He was a good fighter, but he wasn't nearly the best. I mean, he's been beaten by quite a few people. You need a mod to remove all the negative and troll comments. Yeah, I mean, I try to, let's see here. There you go. Boom. How about that? So, make me proud. So then you can remove a lot of nonsense, you know. I do need more moderators, though, so they can look at the channel when I'm not aware of. I don't know what it is with these bots. I don't know why they're around. I don't know where they come from. I don't know anything about anything. Are you going to react fight day? Are you going to react fight day? Oh, listen. I go live on fight days. I've been pretty chill lately. Just been relaxing. Been recuperating, recovering, you know. But yeah, fight days, those are the days that I live for, man. I miss like classic live streams, you know, Manny Pacquiao, Thurman, Joshua, well, Ruiz, Joshua 2. That was a big one. Usyk, Joshua 1 and 2. Wilder, Fury, all of them. Because I did all of those. You know, and they were, matter of fact, I think I did all of them except the first one. I think I did Wilder versus Fury. I know I did 2 and I definitely did 3. And 3 was absolutely, it was, 3 was a very good live stream, bro. You know, I mean, that's the type of stuff the channel thrives for. It really gets the channel a lot of traffic. You know, I love those. I love those, bro. So you can't beat those classic live streams. Sometimes I go back and watch them and look at all the traffic and the people in there and the reactions and stuff like that. It's pretty fun stuff, man. Who you think will get most of the benefits, Tank or Roach, from the rematch? It's going to be Tank, because Tank is still the guy that has the money, that they're still claiming, that holds the bag, you know. I hope he beats Tank. I hope, because everybody needs to be humbled. Tank just kind of hid behind the scenes. He had all that talent, so it seems. And, you know, and Roach is, I think, he's like, he reminds me of Kambosos. He reminds me of Kambosos. And the thing is, Lopez just did not have the type of protection that Tank has. So, you know, like Lopez was a guy, yeah, he beat Lomachenko because Lomachenko didn't wake up until the 6th round or 7th round. And by that time, you know, Tio had done what he's supposed to do, which, hey, shout out to Tio. But Tio screwed himself, so it was a blessing and a curse. Because he should have fought Loma again, and he didn't. And it is what it is. But as far as Tank goes, Tank is he's way more valuable than Teofimo Lopez. Especially in a certain demographic. You know, he is like that last guy. You know, you had Wilder, then you had Errol Spence, then Tank. You know, you had Thurman once upon a time. Remember once upon a time Thurman? Which he just knocked a boy out. But here's the thing. Those guys are becoming very scarce over there. So they need somebody that hold that flag. And Tank is it. Tank is the last of the Mohicans over there. He's the last. Tony Lyons, yo, just done with your last video on Bruno talking shit. Yeah, Bruno, man, you know, Bruno with his treacherous laugh. I said, dude, yeah, you sound like you should be in a horror movie. Like them like them A-list horror movies. You need to be the voiceover in the background of a haunted house. All he has to do is laugh, dude. That dude sounds straight diabolical. But, you know, Bruno saying, hey, he wouldn't have lasted in my era. I think you should really apply yourself to that guy, you know? Yeah, Frank is tripping, man. I noticed it. Frank was like, oh, he couldn't beat Lennox Lewis. Okay. Neither could you. He wouldn't have made it this far in my era. You know? Which I know what he's saying. I know what Frank's saying. Frank's saying, hey, I had tougher opponents because I had guys like Lennox Lewis. I know what that means. You know, and Lennox Lewis is a beast. He was a beast. He still is. I wouldn't fight Lennox Lewis now. Lennox Lewis is one of those dudes like, you know, he doesn't get a lot of credit because he was a dickhead. Just honestly, he was just a dick. And, you know, I mean, he was a hell of a fighter, but like nobody really liked him like that. As far as, you know, people loved Bruno way more than they loved Lennox. You know, it's called character. Why do you think people like AJ? AJ wasn't walking around like a dickhead. Wasn't saying stuff like, oh, well, you call that, what do you call that? That's not a fight. It's not a left hook. My sister punches harder than that. You know, no, like all that type of kind of lame, like dry ass attempt to talk shit, because it's all it is. It's an attempt. You know, I mean, Lennox Lewis was not likable, bro. But I mean, he was still a beast. He was a beast of a fighter, but he was not likable. I mean, you know, I mean, he just wasn't. AJ fighting Jake, what's your opinion? Jake fighting AJ. I think Jake needs to get knocked the fuck out. And if that's who he calls himself fighting, okay. If he's asking for that, that's what he's gonna get. He's not gonna beat Anthony Joshua. If he beats Anthony Joshua, AJ probably couldn't, it would be nowhere AJ could go without somebody clowning him. It would be kind of like the representation or the resurrection of that embarrassment that he took from Madison Square Garden. Because Andy Ruiz beat the shit out of him, bro. He beat him and he knocked him down 4 times. You know, he got hit, you know, and then like, the thing is, we know there was something wrong with him, but it doesn't matter. It's just, we go with what we saw. We all know that Ryan Garcia beat the hell out of Devin Haney. It doesn't really matter because, you know, we saw Ryan Garcia beat the hell out of Devin Haney. We can't unsee that, regardless of what he was juiced up with, you know? AJ would badly hurt Jake Paul. It would be over in the first round. He would knock out Jake early. He wouldn't play with Jake because he knows Jake, you know what I mean? And the thing is, he's not old enough, or he's not like under Jake to be trying to, you know, like $20 million to AJ is not something that you can bribe him with. You see what I mean? You can't bribe AJ with $20 million like you could Mike, because Mike knows, you know, this is the last time I'm going to make this kind of money, and I'm 58 years old, so I'm going to make this type of money, and I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to take it, I'm going to go 8 rounds with Jake Paul, and I'm going to hold back my punches, and when I want to punch him, I'm just going to bite my gloves real hard because I know I can knock this kid out, but I don't want to do it because I signed an NDA, so I agreed, so I wouldn't hurt him, he wouldn't hurt me, I wouldn't hurt him, he wouldn't hurt me, so I just bited on something. I had a biting sensation. That's what happened to Mike. He can't do that shit with AJ. He's not going to be able to do that. AJ, once that ring, AJ's going to be real quiet. He's going to laugh because Jake is going to sell the fight. He's going to call him stiff, can't box. He's going to probably bring up some old Andy Ruiz fights, him hanging out with Andy Ruiz, eating naked chicks off of sushi chicks. And guess what? He's going to do all that. And once the bell rings, AJ going to come out there and flatline his ass. Ding, ding, bow! It's going to be over. And he's going to hit Jake. And Jake's going to probably need oxygen. And the shit's going to, and look, it's going to be laughable. Jake Paul's stock is going to drop that night. Because then AJ, people are going to look at AJ in a different way. He's going to be that platform killer. What I mean by that is, look what he did to Francis Ngannou. And Francis Ngannou came over to this platform and beat the shit out of Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury did everything but survive. He got dropped by Francis. Then he goes in there with AJ and gets knocked out flat. That shit's going to happen to Jake Paul. And once it happens, people are going to know, like, hey, yeah, you know, it just shows you can't mess with boxing like that, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing. He's going to put people in his place, you know? He's going to put those guys in their place like he did Francis. He's going to knock out poor little Jake, because Jake, he's been juiced up. And then just see, this is another factor people are not going to think about. Fighting AJ, you're not going to go in there juiced up. You're not going to go in there on Klonopins or whatever that shit is. You're not going to be able to do all that shit that Jake does. He's not going to be able to do that, bro. AJ knows to finish early because the longer it goes, for the worse it would look bad for AJ. He would need to take his head. And as you said, AJ is used to big millions. He's going to knock out Jake. See, here's the thing. It's not even about if he does it. It's when he does it. It's either with the right uppercut. Because, see, what all Jake's going to do, Jake's going to try to come in and come out. He's going to try to come in, throw overhand right hands, kind of like the similar, like he tried to do with Mike, but he stopped doing that with Mike. He's going to try to step in and make AJ come in. AJ's just going to keep the jab in his face. He's going to watch for the right hand. And when he throws that right hand, AJ's going to chop his ass up probably with a right uppercut or a left hook, or he's going to come straight in with a right hand because Jake Paul's probably going to be in the corner at some point and he's going to get nailed and he's going to be hurt. You know what I mean? And if he's smart, he would grab. But that's only prolonging a destructive end for Jake. You know, and then see, and it's all because, and you know who's going to be laughing? You know who's going to be laughing their ass off? Canelo Alvarez. Because Canelo Alvarez played Jake like a fiddle. And Jake got pissed. Jake was mad, bro. And Jake was like, and Jake, this is his attempt to find someone big enough to compare and compete with Canelo. And that's his answer, Anthony Joshua. So, yeah, I mean, and he's going to get knocked out trying to prove that, hey, I can make bigger fights than Canelo Alvarez. Where what he doesn't understand about Canelo Alvarez don't give a shit about big fights. He just wants big money because he's not going to be fighting forever. You know, he's not going to be fighting forever. And he knows that. He said, well, why would I attach my name to Jake Paul when I can sign with Turki Al-Sheikh, knowing the track record Turki Al-Sheikh and all the shit that he's given me? Why would I attach my name to Jake Paul? Now I go down in a venue fighting him. Now I'm attached with him to the hip forever. Canelo knows better. So Jake's trying to get him back in a desperation to fight someone big enough in stature and in popularity like AJ. And then what's going to happen? He's going to get knocked out for it. He's never been in there with nobody that big, nobody that young, nobody that damn strong. And he's going to get knocked out cold. That's my counterpunch on Jake Paul. Next, let's see. Greetings to all in the chat and to Kurt. Greetings to you, sir. Suge 1, counterpunch to you, brother. G Walls. Yeah, AJ would whoop Jake Paul just like he did that African MMA cat. Yeah, Francis Ngannou. I felt bad for Francis, though. Because Francis really ain't a bad dude, you know? So, you know, I like to see guys that talk a lot of shit get knocked out. Like Jake Paul. You know? Kurt, that fight ain't happening. It just keeps their names relevant. He called out Dubois, too, didn't he? No, he didn't. He never called out Dubois. Dubois called him out. He never called out Dubois. He said Dubois doesn't make enough money or enough traction. That's why he wants AJ. See, Dubois beat AJ. That was an upset. You know? That wasn't something that everybody anticipated to happen. That's the difference. I saw a boxing reactor said that he will beat $30 on Canelo, or bet $30 on Canelo, that the odds are so close in the sports bookers bet. I am panties. You speaking facts. Appreciate you. But no, I don't think that. I just don't think that Jake wants a big fight. He's going to get one. I mean, because see, and now Eddie Hearn is involved. Shit, Eddie Hearn's involved. So Eddie Hearn's involved, and he mentioned, oh well, hey, why wait? Why wait to 26? AJ KO'd Ngannou cold, and this is similar to what I think Kurt does to Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless? I wouldn't fight Skip unless Skip wanted to fight me. It would make more sense for me fighting someone like Shannon Sharp because he's a big dude and I'm a big dude. He's a bigger dude. You know what I mean? But I'm a younger dude. So Shannon, you know, athlete, works out all the damn time. You know what I'm saying? Kurt, your beard style makes you look like better BS. Alhamdulillah. Are we talking about Jake Paul that lost to Tommy Fury in a stinker? Yes, we are. The same Jake Paul thought he had a Canelo fight, and Canelo, you fucking YouTuber. You fucking YouTuber. Played him, man. Oh, he was mad, though. Honestly, I don't think Jake would fight AJ. He knows the outcome. He ain't that stupid to think he's got a chance, surely. He might just be doing it for a cap. I mean, I hope he is, because Jake Paul is 27 years old. How old is Jake Paul? Jake Paul's young. So if Jake Paul fought AJ now, I mean, he has to consider retirement of whatever he calls it. He could always do YouTube videos because he's a YouTuber. Him and his brother, Logan and himself, they're YouTubers. They got millions of subscribers. They will always make thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands a month, okay? Unless they did something just so horrific, like go to jail or something like that. That's the only way they don't make money. You know, like someone stops them from having the capability of streaming. So Jacob's going to be fine. But as far as this physical, I want to be a boxer or best boxer in the world shit, that'll come to an end. People will then see, you know what, we don't want to see Jake Paul, bro. Hey, he tried to go up to heavyweight. You know, Mike let him off the hook because Mike was probably paid not to beat him up, being 58 years old. And then you got Anthony Joshua. He tried to fight AJ. And just because AJ got beat by Dubois, he thought he was going to beat AJ, and AJ damn near killed him. That's the story. JD, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Oh, he's 28. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't think he wants to retire this narrative just yet. If he messes around and fights AJ, that's what's going to happen. Jake jumping like this without much amateur and going through the pro divisions could really put him in a nightmare scenario. No. All's going to happen to Jake. Jake gets hit. He's going to get knocked out. Bow! Oh, he's going to go out. And if he tries to get, he's going to probably be knocked out cold. He's going to run in there. Going to try to push oxygen in his boy. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's going to be spared. He'll be all right. Thoughts on Usyk's next opponent? Usyk's the WBC, the WBO, and the WBA, right? So, any one of those guys are okay with me. I mean, I get Caballero is the WBC mandatory. And I don't like how they're doing him, honestly. Because, I mean, I think he had a tougher opponent than Joseph Parker on the night. The names were probably the same, but the challenge was tougher. He got dropped with Zhang in that fight, didn't he not? Wasn't Zhang supposed to be that in-shape 41-year-old powerhouse ready to do or die? He didn't come off the couch in the Congo eating ho-hos and Twinkies. He was prepared for a fight just around the same time as Joseph Parker and Daniel Dubois was prepared for a fight. So I think I get Caballero. Honestly, I think he had a tougher challenge that night, but he got the job done. So I think Alexander Usyk should stay Alexander Usyk. And how does he do that? Fight your mandatories. Fight him. Fight Joseph Parker. Let Daniel Dubois while he's capping shit. If you notice, Daniel Dubois did not mention Agate Caballero. He mentioned Usyk. He mentioned Parker. He mentioned the rematch with Joshua. Well, you've already beat Joshua. So, you know, he knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. They're knowing exactly what they're doing over there. They're not going to call out the devil you don't know. Because the devil you don't know is that's that person that will put you down too. And if anybody that can make Daniel Dubois quit, it's someone like Agate Caballero with those damn tree chopping shots. You know what I mean? Back, boop, 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 boop. I mean, he's putting those punches together. And man, look, I watched that Zhang fight a lot because I love the work, the dedication, the effort. I love what Agate Caballero did to Zhang. Zhang's about 6'6". He looked like a giant. Did you see Zhang? Zhang's coming in, big ass, massive guy. Agate Caballero's down here. He's way up here. Then Agate's coming in there. He takes a couple, rubbernecks him, comes back, gives him 4 or 5 more. Man, it was off the chain, man. Off the chain. The devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Absolutely. Tony Lyons, you're absolutely positively right. And I know that's what Daniel is talking about. That's why he called out AJ, because he knows, well, 1, I'm going to get paid. 2, I know Daniel. Daniel wants to get, and I know he's trying. I think people should leave Daniel alone as far as his personality. Daniel's going to be Daniel. So leave Daniel be. He's going to be Daniel. He's not AJ. He's not Tyson. He's not Joseph. He's Daniel. He's quiet. He likes to fight. He's passive. You can make him mad. Yeah, you can make him mad. Does he try to do certain things? Yeah, he tries. Doesn't mean he's really that good at it. He's tried to talk shit before that cost him a damn ass whooping. You remember that? He talked shit about Joe Joyce's mama. Remember that? You guys remember when he talked shit about Joe Joyce's mama? He talked shit about Joe Joyce's mama. So at that point, it was like, oh yeah, you're lucky that your mom can't see. She can't see me beat your son. And you know something? That was, and I heard that. I was like, yo, bro, that was some bullshit you just said. And what did Joe Joyce do? You talked about my mom. He damn near got blinded. He broke his orbital bone. So no, he's not good at talking shit. Maybe he shouldn't. Man, because when he tried, it didn't work well for him. I like it when Dubois smiles. That is $1 million smile. JD, he ain't no look. He's marketable. He does smile like it's real. When Daniel Dubois smiles, it is like he's real. It's a real, genuine smile. It ain't no bullshit. What do you call it? Like in film, they call it a bite. You bite down on your smile to look it appear like it's authentic, but it's really not. Some people smile weird. I used to have an ex-girlfriend. This motherfucker had a crooked smile, but that's how she smiled. So you knew it was real. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? That was bullshit. So yeah, Daniel. And if the thing is, he just needs to be himself. And who this person is, that's who he is. He needs to become more involved with his own social media, though. He needs to grow up in that aspect. I think he needs that. Because, see, he could have put out, hey, these are the documents. These are the things. And let's talk about that for a minute. Daniel Dubois came out recently and said, hey, I'm willing to show you guys what they sent me and what they gave me, what they diagnosed me with, what I was taking, the antibiotic, everything. And he was willing to do that. And it's like, okay, all right, well, why didn't you just do it? But then again, people been asking for this for the last 2 weeks. So since people been asking for this info and you're just kind of out of tune or out of touch with what people were talking about, that's on you. That's why he needs to know what the hell's going on. It's almost like not paying attention to the news that involves you. If the news involves you, that means you need to be familiar and aware of it. Especially if you care what people say, and you know he does. People say they don't give a shit. Oh, I know Daniel cares about what people say about him personally. And I don't talk shit about Daniel like that. A lot of people may think I do, but the good thing is Daniel don't have one of those obnoxious fan bases that, they're so, sensitive, like the Wildettes or the Tyson Fury heads or the AJs. Because, they've all came at me. You know what I mean? They've all came at me at some point in the last 10 years. And by the way, guys, tomorrow will make, but the month of April will make me on YouTube for 10 years. So I'm going to do a 10-year bash on that day. I think it's the 13th or the 15th or some shit like that. So, to be fair, Pacquiao and Triple G are quiet guys, but they have great nights. Cool Breezy. Yes, Triple G and Pacquiao are it's hard to say because those guys are action guys. Those guys give you fights that are classic. Those guys have become urban legends. Those guys have they have perceived themselves in character, and they didn't necessarily need or require trash talk. That not everyone's going to be like that though. Daniel's not like that because Daniel's already tried to be something that he wasn't. That shit he said about Joe Joyce and he got beaten and he quit and all that. See, first of all, you can't quit. Can't be a quitter. You can't be fake. You can't try something new. You just have to do what you do. Manny Pacquiao did exactly that. So did Triple G. Those guys. Manny was loved because, like, Manny did stuff that, like, he played basketball. So he came up and, you know, he got the attention of people like Kobe Bryant and Beyonce. And so Beyonce was dragging Jay-Z's ass to a Manny Pacquiao fight because they love to see how Manny, they love to see him really get it in. And, they love to see that. They love to see that hand speed. They love to see that interaction. They love to see that passion. They love to see that tenacity. They love to see all of those things about Manny Pacquiao. Triple G was that dude that comes in there, back, come in there, and then he'll go to the body, back, and you hit him. It's almost like he's always busted up. He's always have abrasions, like he's been through like a fucking circle of wolves. But he always damn near comes out victorious. He's only lost, what, one fight? Is it one fight, two fights with Canelo? Really, he should have won that fight with Canelo, the first one. But yeah, man, it's definitely those guys, but they were still like, no, guys, Triple G he was a likable dude. Congratulations on being 10 years on YouTube. I only knew you some 5 years ago. Appreciate you, bro. I appreciate the 5 years. A lot of people didn't know I was on that long ago. If you go back, my face was thinner. I was in my early 30s. You know what I mean? And I was doing it. LeBron, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you outside of boxing. Would you go boxing professional? You got the body. You can take someone. Yeah, but nah. I mean, for me, unless it's some Andy Ruiz opportunity of a lifetime shit, I wouldn't do it. Nah. But one, I like my nose. I don't want to look like Carl Froch. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it would help me tremendously. I could do things for my folks, my family and stuff like that. If it's like 4 or 5 million, I'll fight somebody for 4 or 5 million. You know what I mean? But I'm okay. I mean, I'm not. I would challenge if I got the opportunity. I must have been subbed for over 6 or 7 years at least. Tony Lyons, you've been around for a while, bro. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. Even the haters. You used to have people that come on, talk shit, and then leave. First time of catching you live, brother. Love from Nigeria. Niger in the building. Is that Ikena? Counterpunch to you, Ikena. Many active boxers still have perfect noses. Yeah, that's true. Can't say that shit about Lennox Lewis, can you? Lennox is like, you're like, damn. You need to go holler at Carl. Tell Lennox Lewis he need to go holler at Carl Froch. Hi, Kurt. Is this the same live chat as yesterday? Nah, this is a different live chat. We're talking more about Frank Bruno stating that, coming at Alexander Usyk sideways, he would have been able to last in the era. Listen, eras in boxing, I mean, they're so unfair, because they're all that is. It's basically bar talk, but it's worth the talk. This is boxing talk, isn't it not? So it is what it is. Remember that dude yesterday saying he got videos of you putting things in fighters' drinks? I put him in timeout for 30 minutes. Now, fuck him, man. I mean, he thinks I'm Alex Ariza. You don't compare eras. It's disrespectful. It is. It is. It cannot. It is. It's disrespectful. Because how do you prove that? That's like that's just someone just like throwing basically all it really is, especially when you mention the current era. And then you say some shit like, oh man, he wouldn't have made it in my era. All you're doing is you're disrespecting the current era of boxers right now. That's all you're doing. You're not respecting them. You're putting an era over another era. And you're putting your era over the era of now. So that means because you fought in an era, that means it's automatically better than this era. Which even if it was or wasn't, who cares? Because you can never take your era and overlap this era unless you can get Doc Brown's time machine out of Hill Valley some fucking where and get all those fighters to come in to this time frame and bring them all here and fight everybody here. That's the only way you can do that. Frank did not last in his own era. That's true. That's right. That's the point that I made in the video. Because I did 3 videos today concerning boxing, okay, and this live, and Frank talking shit at Alexander is one of them. So check it out if you ain't got nothing to do after the live stream. But I'll be here for a minute. I think it was about 5 years ago I found you. Yeah, you know, damn, that's a big ass. Damn, big ass crow. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, man. So I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of the channel blew up. I look at certain channels like, you know, Hatman Strikes Back. Shout out to Sporting Icons, man. I hope everything's going right with him because he hasn't posted in a long time. I heard he had some personal stuff going on, but my prayers go out to him. You know, but it was me, him. Showbiz was back there back in the day. You had Dante's Boxing Nation, Boxing Ego, Blue Blood Sports TV, and really those are the ones that Ring IQ was there, because I think Ring IQ started. He started, I think, either before me or after me, but we all kind of came around the same time. Some of these guys been around a lot longer, but keep in mind, like I tell anybody that starts a channel, that you never know when that channel is going to spike or people just going to discover the channel. You don't know. Boxing in the 90s was hot. It was. When crows attack. Yeah, I know, right? Every time, bro, I see a crow now, I think about From, and it kind of creeps me out. If you guys haven't seen From, it's like on MGM Grand or Paramount or whatever. Amazon Prime, I think it's on. You can catch it. Sporting Icon just left with no notice at all. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what the deal is. I mean, I heard something like some personal stuff happening. Somebody sick in the family or something like that. But yeah, I mean, he used to post video like me. It was like me, Sporting Icons, you know, because that, like, I don't necessarily look at subscribers like I used to, because yeah, subscribers are cool, but YouTube, they did some different shit now. So not everybody that's even subscribed to this channel. Like, we got 32 people here. People don't know that I'm live right now. Yeah, he did the rankings. So he was always kind of big at the rankings thing. I was pretty much known for either breaking news or fight predictions. Boxing Wave is another one. And then we got a channel coming on movies. So if you guys like movies, it's going to be next month. So I'm going to make it happen. We're going to come together next month. You know, he was going through some things that kind of derailed our progression of the new channel, Movie Review. So, Boxing Wave, my brother, good guy, been around a long time. T Street Controversies is one of those OGs as well. You know, yeah, they don't mean anything these days. God of War, they don't. Bruce Vane, of course, he's Bruce Vane's classic for like stomping a mud hole in Deontay Wilder when Wilder was, to this day, I'm the best ever. Turkey should do a 4-man tournament with Usyk, JP, Triple D, and Caballo. LeBron, he should. You know why he should? Because that's the continuation of what he started. I believe if you start something, you got to be willing to finish it. And I think with this whole tournament mentality, I think it became more of a popularity than a tournament. See, the days of reckoning, you had who? You had AJ versus Weiland. You had Wilder versus Parker. You had Triple D versus Jarrell Miller. You had Mark Damori versus Philip Hergovic. You had Frank Sanchez versus Junior Fa. Right? Those are the heavyweights that was on the card. Who else was there? That's it, right? That being said, those guys, you had the winners, then you had the losers. And the weird thing is, you had Caballo. Caballo was there, remember? Caballo versus Arslanbek Markmadov. So you had these guys that were there. That won, you got the ones that lost. And the weird thing was, the ones that lost were the ones that he was trying to rehash, like Wilder, like Jarrell Miller, and I get Jarrell because Jarrell he made that what it was because there were other possible fights for him. Everybody wanted to see him fight AJ. He was fighting Daniel Dubois. He was revving everybody up. He was doing a lot, okay? Now, but he lost. Then he fought Andy Ruiz, and he had a draw. Okay. Wilder lost back-to-back, and we're seeing him again. I get Caballel beat Arslanbek Markmadov. That was an absolute monster at the time. You guys remember Arslanbek? Arslanbek Markmadov. That sounds like somebody that they're putting away in a solitary somewhere, in some prison, max prison somewhere. Arslanbek Markmadov? Arslanbek Markmadov was an absolute monster. He was all twitchy and it made you think like, damn, this dude's kind of fucking crazy. He was strong, he was powerful, he was knocking people out, and he was doing it in a very ugly way. And he was awkward. That awkwardness made him more dangerous because you're like, you don't even know where the punches are coming from. He's just charging you like a bull, like a mad bull that sees red. That's Arslanbek Markmadov. And I get Caballel picked this boy apart, broke his ass down, and then stopped him. That's what he did. And then he did that shit to Frank Sanchez, the defected Cuban. He did it to him too. Okay, then all of a sudden, crickets. You didn't hear anything about it. Yeah, he had Tourette's. I believe that. Tony, I think he did, but I didn't know that at the time. I just thought he was a freaking maniac. Mama Lou, counterpunch to you. Why is AJ not getting a mention nowadays? He's still top 5 division. Dubois got lucky. AJ beats Dubois in a rematch. Jarrell, the big daddy. Will Vladimir return to boxing later in the time? I don't know. See, it would have made more sense for Hergovic to fight the body snatcher. So, listen. To me, Dillian White is kind of like that wild horse. He's that guy. He's kind of like that oddball now. We don't hear about him enough. We don't really hear anything too much about him. I know he fucked up his finger, and he was going to fight Joe Joyce, which a couple years ago, it would have been better fighting Joe Joyce. You know what I mean? But like that Joe Joyce that was knocking everybody out, that stopped Joseph Parker, and they both beat Parker. Now they're going to go head-to-head, and he goes in there and fights Zhang, and Zhang was a lot better than people thought he was. But guess what? Obviously, he wasn't the best heavyweight either. So Joyce is out. He's not the best. Zhang is out. He's not better. They're getting stopped. Caballo's the dark horse. Dillian White is the oddball because he's like that dude that's like on the outskirts. I'm like, where do you fit in, Dillian? When are you going to get in this thing? When are you going to get pulled into the mix of showing Turkey what you can do? Or, you know what I mean? Or do you really want it? I'm not sure. I don't know. When fighters win, when fighters winning, they get praised, but a lose, and people think they're shit. AJ's next fight, whoever it is, and when it bang them out, watch lots of people jump back on the bandwagon again like they never left. Tony, that's true. They're going to do that. When AJ knocks somebody out, he's back. He's just awesome. Brilliant, AJ. Brilliant. Caballo will soon be a number one with his fast hands and punches to the opponent's stomach. Yep. White should retire. No, I think White should give it another go. But he could retire. I wouldn't be mad. I mean, he's 36 now. Then he's had an injury. AJ's 35 now. But he just had an injury. And a mystery injury. I like White, but he has just not been the same since 2019. I think he's not been the same since 2020, to be honest with you. I mean, because he's always been this like stuttery, off-balance dude. I think he put on too much upper body weight, and it made his legs, because I don't think his legs are as strong as people think they are. You know what I mean? I think he has some kind of, I don't think his legs support the body that he has. He's too damn big. He needs to shred down. The Dillian White from 2018, the knocked out, the undefeated guy at the time, the drug cheat, what's his name? Lucas Brown. That knocked out Lucas Brown. Yeah, he was perfect. That was Dillian White's peak right there. He shouldn't have got no much bigger. Then he knocked out Derek Chisora. Then he came to the U.S. Then he got fat. Remember that? He gets fat. White was a solid top 5 back then. And then you remember too, Dillian White was fucked over by Mauricio. Yeah. Yeah, because when Dillian swing, he misses. His body keeps going. Yeah, dude, that dude swings and look, Dillian swings and I'm like, you fucking Oliver Twist. Chill, please. Maybe His Excellency can do it by himself. Lucas Brown, the Australian. Yeah, Lucas Brown. When he knocked Lucas Brown out, bro, he hit like he was like bop, 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 bop. He threw a nasty 4-punch combination at Lucas and knocked his ass out. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful combination. And I was like, yeah, way to go. And it's crazy though. I did the breakdown of him fighting Lucas Brown in a lobby of a hotel. I was in Austin. This is 2018. I was working on Fear of the Walking Dead season 4. And the channel was doing really good because, I mean, it was doing something that it's never done. So I'm just doing videos. And, Dillian White just knocked out Lucas Brown. Lucas Brown had just returned from a ban. So he might have been rusty or whatever, but he still got his ass whooped. So, Dillian White knocked his ass out, and he looked good doing it. Big up Dillian White. I think Hrgovic will stop Joyce this weekend. Hey, I look forward to that fight, bro. That's going to be, I will be live for that fight, Hrgovic versus Joyce. And you know this, so the thumbnail and the live stream will probably be up by Wednesday or Thursday. By tomorrow, I'll give you guys a prediction. Yeah, Philip beats A. But see, like I tell you, Tony Lyons in the building. Counterpunch to you. Mediator! Mount up. Listen, Philip has to beat Joyce. Joyce has to go. I like Joe Joyce, but Joyce has to go. He has to go. I'm sorry. He has to go. What do you think about Chisora mandatory position for the IBF? Since the IBF are strict, do you think Dubois would fight him? Yes, I think Dubois would fight him if he can't get the Usyk fight. And then I feel bad for Dubois because Dubois is in a situation where it's a lose-lose. Why? Well, if he doesn't get the Usyk fight, because Usyk has to fight Joseph Parker, right? Usyk will fight Joseph Parker. But if he takes the fight for the mandatory against Chisora, people will say, well, that's why you ducked him, because you didn't want to fight him, so you wanted to fight someone older like Chisora. Which, if you think about it, because he pulled out of the fight, Joseph Parker lost his opportunity, along with Martin Bakali, along with Efe Ajagba, for the IBF. Because, see, this coming, is it the first? Right? Whenever Effie's supposed to fight Martin Bakali, they're supposed to fight for the number one IBF. Now it's Derek Chisora, based on Martin Bakali taking the money to fight Joseph Parker. He fought Joseph Parker for his own WBA mandatory slot, right? So the IBF opportunity goes away for him and Effie, which sucks. And then right, then Daniel Dubois is left with who? A 41-year-old guy that was considered a journeyman. So yeah, people won't like that outcome. That's a bad trade-in on a lot of people's book. I still got Usyk versus Triple D next. Joyce is almost 42. Yeah, I think he is 40. If he's not 40, his ass is 39.99995. Because Joe Joyce has been like 38 for a couple years now. That dude's old. Joe Joyce is old. Ajagba is a serious threat. Billy Nelson thinks Martin is just going to walk right through him. He thought, yeah, and I keep reminding people that Efe Ajagba, he's a different person now. Efe Ajagba can still bang, bro. He's knocked people out cold himself. So don't get it twisted. And then see, based on what Michael Hunter, my friend, says about the damage, the possible lingering damage that Martin Bakali took from getting hit, right, when he wasn't in condition by Joseph Parker, right? That could be a bad thing. You know, if that could have added a lingering injury. So in other words, let's say that Efe Ajagba catches, let's say he catches Martin Bakali in that same spot. Let's say he catches him in that same spot, right? He catches him in that same spot. And then Martin Bakali goes down. He does the same shit that he did against Joseph Parker. Now, see, what'll happen, that's going to go back and it's still going to fall on Billy Nelson. Don't see where a Usyk versus Parker fight can be till Saudi starts up in October. Could be in Poland. Could be in Poland. I mean, why not Poland? Shit, Usyk versus Dubois was in Poland. If you watch Triple J in interviews, he's already showing signs of punch drunk. In my opinion, unfortunately, I will, unfortunately, I will add. Yeah. Yeah, Joe Joyce, yeah. You can tell. Joe Joyce, man, he comes off like somebody that's drunk. He does. He comes off like someone that's drunk. He comes off like someone that you know, he's suffering signs. You can tell, and it's sad. But I mean, It's expected. I mean, look how much damage Joe Joyce took. I mean, look at the amount of punches that he took. And everybody, oh, he's the juggernaut. I mean, well, the juggernaut is still a human. I hope Usyk versus Parker and Dubois versus Chisora. I mean, I could live with that. I mean, that ain't ideal for me. Because Chisora, I just hope the best for Chisora. I hope Chisora has done everything that he's been doing. And he's winning. Chisora's winning. People talk about, oh, this man. Chisora is past that point. If he's going to be hurt, he's just going to be hurt. He's past all that shit. He ain't worried about none of that no more. He was like, hey, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. He doesn't care. Dubois versus Caballero is more ideal to me. And I picked Caballero to stop Dubois. And if Dubois can beat Caballero, that's a major accomplishment from Dubois, and he gets 100% credit. I just don't think he'll do it. I don't think he can. You know what I mean? I think what'll happen, he's in there with somebody. How old is Caballero? 30? How old is Caballero? Does anybody know? Somebody do a fact check on me real quick. How old is Caballero? Stadium in Poland doesn't make numbers financially. I don't care. 30, 31? Okay. Caballero has way too much pressure. 31 years old. Joker MP, number 1. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I mean, that's a prime fighter. Caballero is in his prime right now. Like right now. I look at how Caballero handled Zhang. What would he do to someone like Bakali? Dubois currently has no business fighting Caballero to be here. Yeah, I mean, he's the IBF champion. I'll get Caballero as the WBC mandatory interim champion. Caballero is exactly in the same position Dillian White was in 4 or 5 years ago. He's just chilling. I just hope that Mauricio don't do Caballero like he did Dillian. The only thing was, I think Dillian kind of pressed the issue and kind of added insult to injury based on the fact that he talked shit about Mauricio and the WBC. Oh, yeah, he did. And because he did, Mauricio did a little pushback. He did a little threatening him himself. If you keep talking, Dillian, we will block you and we will give legal action towards your words. If you guys remember that, it was that was Mauricio threatening Dillian, because Dillian was like, dude, I'm tired of you ducking me. I've been paying this 3%. I've been paying my fees. I've been doing my dues, and I've been doing everything that you tell me to do. I've been waiting 1,000 damn days, and I still ain't had the mandatory. Now you're telling me that Deontay Wilder, he done told me himself he don't have to fight me. He can duck me. He calls me a peasant, and he wants another king like AJ, and he don't deserve an AJ fight. Which I was more inclined for. I actually agreed with a lot of the guys in the LDBC. I'm like, well, if you feel that way, Dillian, why don't you just fight Luis Ortiz? Knock him out, then show Deontay Wilder, the one guy that only you can beat, I just beat. So what else you got? That's what he should have done, because that's what they were claiming over there. Well, Luis Ortiz is this and that and the other, which Luis Ortiz was good, but Luis Ortiz was old. Kurt, I would still like to see Dillian versus Jarrell Miller. Yeah, that would be a good fight. A good fight, a dirty fight, a fight with two fighters that have a real bad reputation with drugs, just like Lucas Brown, just like Jarrell Miller. And Jarrell Miller knocked out Lucas Brown. But Lucas Brown is older, though. But understand, someone like Dillian, like Derek Chisora, is able to outwork you if you let him. Look what he did to Pulev, and that was a good fight. Pulev and Derek Chisora went to war. That wasn't no bullshit fight. Pulev actually showed, like, hey, I can bang with this dude. He just didn't do it enough. And then I think they were in the UK anyway, right? So, yeah. Kings fight kings. Alex, sorry, Deontay, old boxer, 40 years, more and more. Well, I mean, he's 39. I mean, he'll still be 39 by the time he gets another fight in against I forget his name already. I wish Fury would hurry up and come back. I'd love to see Fury versus Cabello. I think Usyk's biggest threat is Jai Apataya. No, I don't think so at all. I think Usyk's biggest threat is the people that are here right now in that division. And that's Cabello, that's Parker, that's Bakali, and then maybe even Zhang. The only thing is Zhang wouldn't be Zhang, and Zhang's not finished, people. He's still coming back. I would love Tyson Fury to fight Vladimir Klitschko for a rematch. He said he'll do it for the money. He said that when Vladimir was thinking about coming back. But but Vladimir wants to do it for the belt. Tyson wants to do it for the money. I think Chisora would give Dubois a hell of a fight. It might. It might, bro. It might happen that way. It would be great. You know? Ryan recently told Porter that he would drop him. I think a prime Sean Porter would outwork. A prime Sean Porter would run over Ryan if Ryan can't catch his ass with that left hook. Because the way Sean Porter fights, Sean Porter will come right at him dog style. Now, I like Sean Porter, though. I like him. I mean, I just don't care for Ryan, so maybe I'm a little biased, to be real. Whittaker wants 10 rounds. Yeah, let's talk about Whittaker for a minute. Ben Whittaker, him and his intelligent, him and his promoter, right? They sent over a contract to Ian Cameron, and they signed it. It was a 12-round fight, right? And they signed it. So they sent it back, signed. They signed it. And I guess they proof checked it. And then I think they overlooked, oh shit, this is a 12-round fight. Now they're trying to get him to sign another contract. Which, that's the crazy thing. That was actually the last video that I was talking about. And I'm going to tell you guys here that are here. Why would you not proof check your own damn contract? That just shows amateur hour, bro. Because that's something they had to overlook. Because if you think they would have saw it, they would have agreed to it. Since now they're trying to get him to sign another contract. And see, the weird thing is, I can relate absolutely wholeheartedly. Because they try that shit in my job, in my industry. Like, let's say I sign a daily contract to get X amount of dollars a day. Well, that day contract you're going to make more money than a weekly one. Keep in mind, they will, and they have tried to send, they wait about 8 or 9 days. You got all this overtime on these daily contracts per day. And they try to get you to sign a weekly one because they know a lot of the overtime will go away, right? And then in Ben's case, Ben knows this is my 9th fight. Maybe this is my 10th because he had a draw, right? So he had 8 wins or something like that with so many knockouts. I think he's 8-5 and 1 draw. So this is his 10th fight. So he doesn't have confidence in his fighter that his ass can go 12 rounds. See, Cameron is a guy that has way more experience than Whittaker. And see, they're trying to, and here's the thing. If they pull out of that fight because of that 2 extra rounds, that means Whittaker was not confident that he could go that amount of rounds just yet. And they're not going to try it. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, they're going to afraid he was gassing out before he went over the ropes. He had to do that shit, grab that dude, and then talk about his leg, but then wanted to go at that dude and wreck his phone and get up walking on the damn, limping on the thing. Yeah, he lost a lot of respect for me, man. He lost a lot of respect. And the more of the shit they're doing right now, it just proves more of the same. You know? I hope they push for it 12. Well, I mean, they've already signed for a 12-round fight. Period. So that's it. You know, and Frank saying, I'm not fucking budget. I'm not bloody budget. Ben Shalom could go sucker. But anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off of here. It's been fun. Gave you guys a good solid hour. We will go 2 or 3 more times this week live on top of Saturday when we will see Hergovic challenge Joe Joyce for all or nothing. Of course, have a blessed Monday. Please subscribe. And everyone has been counterpunched. Peace.